There is no worse feeling than feeling taken for granted in a relationship. I would hazard to say that being taken for granted is actually something that creates almost a grieving process, because once you had a man who was prepared to swim the oceans, climb the mountains, just run across the world to be with you, and now you have this person who just feels that they don't have to try anymore. You feel abandoned almost. There's a sense of personal abandonment. It's just this horrible sense of neglect that leaves you stuck in no man's land. And so we're going to talk today about why he takes you for granted. Why are the reasons men take women for granted? Or really, why we take each other for granted? Because some of these things will apply to us as women as well, and it's definitely worth us taking heed. And so I'll see you right after this. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. Can I get an amen? If you are on this channel, then you are absolutely on the right channel to join all of our beautiful Black Swans who have married and married well, or are on their journey to marrying and marrying well. If that is you, let's keep watching and let's get educated. Number one reason is a lack of appreciation. A lot of why people take us for granted often has nothing to do with us, our performance, our value, our worth. Often we're taken for granted because of that other person's perception of life, their own internal stories, the way they see life, the way they learnt, the way they observed things happening in their own family, in their own home, in their own community, what they saw and what they expect. And so we're going to be talking about that person's real internal reality. And we're going to talk a little bit at the end about what we can do as part of jarring them perhaps out of that, or eventually just realizing that there's no love being served at this table and you can walk away from it. But first, let's try to understand what is actually happening. So a lack of appreciation. Sometimes individuals become complacent, men and women, because we don't have a heart for gratitude. Gratitude is something that sadly I had to learn later in life. Now, that's not to say that I wasn't taught good manners. I was taught to say thank you when somebody gives you something, and I was taught to appreciate a good act, but I wasn't taught how to live in a state of gratitude. That's something that I had to teach myself. That's a conscious reality that I had to create for myself. And this is true for 98% of human beings. We're polite enough to know that when somebody's handing us something, we should say thank you. We're polite enough to appreciate somebody on a special day. But often we don't know how to be grateful. And gratitude is really a perpetual, conscious, deliberate attempt daily to remember why somebody matters to you, to observe them doing something for you, being something for you on the daily, every day, not because they have to, but because they want to, and actually living in a moment of gratitude. Every time your partner brings you a cup of tea, in that moment, pausing and being grateful. In the moment that your partner compliments you, just breathing in that compliment and being grateful that this person really wants to do well. Many of us are not taught that, and certainly that includes men. Men are wired to get comfortable in relationships way quicker, because for many years over time, men were taught to be entitled to a lot of things. There were certain things a woman does that she should do, that she should cook, she should clean, she should look after the kids, she should do all of these things. And for a long time, it worked. He went off and did what he should do and brought in money home, and she stayed and did what she had to do to keep the home going, and everybody was doing what they should do. And that doesn't mean that each of them did not want to be appreciated for what they did, but there was a clear sense of gender roles. Now, there's this sense that, well, yeah, you do what you should do, but I do what I should do too. And, there's this wiring that in many women and men have both received, that there's things that you should do. There are things a man should do. Men feel the same way when they're being taken for granted when it comes to their money, that they should pay, that they should facilitate the process. And we feel taken for granted when we're doing all these loving things, showing up and serving and caring and giving. And it's taken for granted, like, yeah, this happens all the time. But that's to do with our attitude of gratitude and the lack thereof for most of the time. The next one, I touched on it earlier, is entitlement. Some men just feel entitled. They feel entitled to your body. They feel entitled to your time. They feel entitled to your attention. They feel entitled to everything that you do. And, after a while, maybe at first they were grateful, then after a while, it feels like the entitlement. And so we have a little bit of a part to play with this, because I think that as women, we are so pouring. Those of us who are black swans, we pour so much, and we find so much joy in serving and being open-hearted and vulnerable and serving and seeing a smile on his face, that often we don't take time to sit in our feminine energy and realize that we are receptors. That really we should be in a position where we are receiving with appreciation, gratitude, and giving back in appreciation, not giving to please, because that is a masculine role. Some of us have fallen into that masculine role where we give to please the other person and give to make sure that they are happy, when really in reality, we are to give back in appreciation of what we've received. Whenever we give to a man what he has not earned, what he has not put in work for, what he's not earning, he begins to take us for granted, because he values the things that he has to work for. He values the challenges that he has to overcome. He values your appreciation when he's actually done something of worth, not just for existing. He's not feminine. If he's feminine, he's going to want to be valued for just existing. And we should value each other for just existing, yes, but I'm talking about the feminine masculine principles here. And so us as women, sometimes we do teach men to be entitled, because we just give to them as a sense of entitlement. Some of us are dating and we walk into our boyfriend's house and we cook and we clean and we start doing all of these things. You are training this man to be entitled. We start to, in marriage, just take over things and just do them, because while he's taking too long and he doesn't help, so I'm going to take my own trash out and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. And we take over, not realizing that as we take over, we are teaching him to be entitled to somebody who will do it, who will be it, who will show it all the time. And then we feel some kind of way. But sometimes some men just have an entitled mindset. Not all men, but definitely some men just are built with a sense of entitlement.
Are you ready for a love story that will rewrite your life? Welcome to the first ever Soulmate Attraction System course group coaching for men and women. Imagine a love that not only sweeps you off your feet, but also fulfills your deepest desires. It's not a dream, it's a reality waiting for you. Over 7 intensive weeks, we will embark on a transformational journey together. We will become conscious of our core needs, unlocking the secrets of what truly makes us happy. Get crystal clear on our life's path, positioning ourselves for love by aligning with your purpose. Uncover and disrupt self-sabotaging patterns in relationships that have held you back for far too long. Identify your love blueprints and the stories that have kept you stuck so you can rewrite your love story. Connect with an amazing community of like-minded individuals who are on the same journey as you. Forge friendships that last a lifetime. But wait, there's more. Enroll now and you'll enjoy an exclusive 30% early bird discount. And here's the catch, folks. This is your one and only chance to join my group coaching session. After this, my coaches will take over and my services will be gone forever. Mark your calendars. Our journey begins on September the 16th, 2023. This isn't just a course, it's a transformational experience. Are you ready to manifest the love you've always desired? Don't wait. Seize this opportunity now and make your love story a reality. Enroll today and let's embark on this incredible journey together. Click the link on our website anywhere around this video and reserve your spot, because your love story begins here. Don't miss out. Just don't do it. See you on the other side.
That we have unrealistic expectations. I think that a lot of people, due to gender roles that I touched on earlier, have built these unrealistic expectations. And so when I want you to be a porn star and you're showing up as a regular woman, then I take that for granted. You're not doing what the other woman did. When I expect you to be wealthy and provide everything, then of course when you provide a little bit of what I want, I take it for granted. Often we take things for granted because our expectations are not being met. His expectations of you as a woman in his head have not been met. And with men turning to pornography at 100 miles an hour and really just toxifying their minds, they can have unrealistic expectations of who a woman is and what a woman should be. And when you are performing at your most and you're drained and you're tired, for him, it's not like that situation. And yes, that happens in the bedroom as well. But we have to understand that these things translate even to everyday work. If his mother was a slogger, his mother worked 10 jobs in the marketplace, came back, made dinner, did all of these things, and he saw the superwoman mother, then his expectations of you are going to be insane. And therefore, when you do your best always falls short. And, in his mind, it's like, she could do better, not realizing that you're really putting your best foot forward. And this is really important, that we have effective communication and let our partners know exactly how we feel. So a lot of men, I know a lot of women in the comments are going to be yelling and screaming and shouting, perhaps, but I know that they're not the black swans who have been on this journey with me for a while. But a lot of men don't know when they're being entitled, even women. And they will only know when you communicate that to them from the feminine. When you let them know that their behavior and their attitude towards you is causing you pain, that is when a lot of them will begin to make the necessary adjustments. Until then, a lot of them don't really realize the amount of pain and suffering that they might be causing you. So don't jump to conclusions and conclude that, while he's just entitled and I'm going to keep up moving. But really stick around, have the conversation and let him know, darling, I do, so much around here and I enjoy doing it. And some of the stuff I don't enjoy doing. But what I would really love is a sense of appreciation. I would love for you to acknowledge that I do all of this for us. It would make me feel special if you would do that for me and you would show it to me in this way, that way, or the other way. And that would really help me feel better. Most men will be happy. Most masculine men, healthy men, will be more than happy to have the blueprint to how they can show you the appreciation in a way that you will understand. The next point is poor communication. Sometimes a man did not see appreciation being displayed in ways that were more visual or auditory. Sometimes he grew up in a situation where appreciation was implied. I remember when I first came to England, and because I'm a Shona speaking English speaker, I speak 2 languages. And anyone who speaks more than one language will understand that language is not just about translating the words. There's meaning behind certain things, and the way words are used can create context. And so as a Shona speaker, our language is very inbred with dignity, respect, and honor. And so every word we use, by and large, has dignity, respect, and honor in it. But when you try and translate directly from Shona to English, it can be quite rude. So I would say things like, give me that. But in Shona, it would have been different. It would have sounded different. And I would upset so many English people. They'd be like, you're so rude. Not realizing that I had to change, I had to do another shift in my brain, that when I'm in England, I'm speaking English to the English, within their culture, there's certain prefixes and that I need to put in front of my words. And so in the same way, and I'm not talking about necessarily culture, some of these things are cultural, different cultures display gratitude in different ways. So a man could be like, I appreciate you. That's why I take care of everything. That's why I make sure that you don't have to worry about this, that, and the other. That's how I show my appreciation. But maybe you need it verbalized. Maybe you need it demonstrated in a different way. So sometimes we feel taken for granted because the communication is poor. He doesn't know how to communicate. He thinks all of the stuff that he's doing and all the sacrifices he's making is showing you how grateful he is for you and how much he genuinely loves and cares about you. The other reason is relationship complacency. Over time, we get used to each other. This is another function of the brain where basically, whatever seems new has to be normalized very quickly so that life can keep going on, because otherwise your body chemistry is going to be going havoc every single time that thing happens. We have to at some point stabilize so life can continue. If we stay in that in love moment, then nothing will happen. If you've ever been in that in love limerence state of being where you just like, oh, I'm in love, you recognize when you look at your career and you look at your life and you look at your friendships that a lot of things get neglected in that state because it's so intense and it calls attention to itself. And so the relationship blossoms in this beautiful little bubble, but everything else around your life starts to fall apart. Your work starts to fall apart. Everything starts to fall apart. So the brain has to bring things back to normal. And this happens, in relationships quite early, but it definitely happens over a long stretch of time. When people have been together and you become predictable and everybody knows what everybody's going to do, and there's a sense that you're not going anywhere. And this is another really key point, is to always be in evolution. Never stop your development, never stop growing, never stop becoming the best version of yourself. Keep developing, keep growing, keep changing, because that keeps your partner on his toes, keeps him checking to see what's going on. Not being predictable. You must be the sort of person who always has her beautiful ball gown on but her running shoes at the bottom, because she's always running to the next version of herself. And this is so important, that we don't allow complacency over time to permit a kind of stagnancy that allows for us to be taken for granted. But I'm going to say this to you, that if he's taking you for granted and that is manifesting in yelling, screaming, abusive behavior, this is something that must be addressed. You must not allow that to go on. He never spoke to you like that, but now he speaks to you some kind of way because he doesn't think that you're going anywhere, and he takes you for granted that you're going to take all of his BS all the time. No questions asked. No. We have to stand up for ourselves and we have to speak up for ourselves. Firstly, in the most feminine way, we have to speak up for ourselves and say, I do not appreciate you speaking to me like that. It makes me feel unsafe and insecure. I would love it if you would stop and we could find other ways together to communicate your frustrations or your anger. What do you think? Now, if he disregards that feminine, high-value way of communicating to him, then you need to set clear boundaries and make it clear that that behavior will not be tolerated, either by removing yourself from that situation, removing yourself from that conversation, and really just holding your ground until there's a change. And if there is no change, bring in a third party. And if there's no change, then maybe it's time to listen to what he is doing and saying, and that means many different things. But I would invite you to book a call and get in touch with the Black Swan Relationship Academy, and let us help you fix this being taken for granted. Whether you are married, in a relationship, or dating, and you feel like your partner just thinks you will be there, definitely there's something that you are doing that is making that possible, that is triggering that reaction in him, that is triggering that laid back, can't be bothered reaction in him. And by doing the dating playbook and calling one of the coaches, we can reset you so that your man is always working hard, is always in that excited pursuing energy when it comes to you, and he hasn't got time to do anything but to constantly be keeping up with you and creating a love life with you that pleases you both. I hope that this video was helpful. We will see you on our next one. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye bye now.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Black Swan app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on register. Put in your valid information, then tap on continue. inputting the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy a community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy!